I'm just getting home. I'm about to eat real fast before my brain and body shuts down. This is cauliflower, and that was my cat running like crazy. This is all cauliflower. I put some bacon and add to it. My wife made my cauliflower bake in the oven for me the other day. I never ate it. I didn't feel like sectioning it off. I don't know, so I'm eating out the bowl. So what I don't eat, I'll put back in the bowl. I'll put the lid back on. Put it back up. Where I don't eat. I look so rough. But I have an excuse for looking rough. Okay, this is my excuse. And I'm sticking to it. Makes me didn't want bacon. So today, I can't even think straight. I haven't uploaded in I don't know how long. I got 2 videos ready to upload and I just haven't done it. Oh my God, I do look rough. My skin is dry. I just got home from doing an overnight in a morning shift. I couldn't find staff to work the morning shift, so I had to leave the overnight of my part-time job and run to my full-time job and do the morning shift. I'm so tired. I wasn't planning on doing that, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you don't have staff. I don't know. It's broccoli. This cauliflower is really good. I'll show you how we make it. It's really good though. So, I wanted mad crab, but that didn't happen. What happened was, I got off the highway, I drove past the restaurant, I looked inside, I looked super busy, super busy. Then I thought, all my vegetables at home went bad. My wife had to cook this really quickly because it was going to go bad. Because I haven't really been home to eat. So my salads, my veggies, all have gone really bad. So I'm like, I'm going to go home and at least eat something so I don't have to throw it away. I got a lot on my mind. A lot stresses me out. A lot of the stuff that's stressing me out is political, racial. I was blessed. Even though I was raised in a single family household, a single parent household, my mother raised us. I was raised with the knowledge of my history, the knowledge of my ethnicity, the knowledge of where we came from. I was raised with all of that knowledge, from racism to segregation to... There were still parts of the world that were segregated when I was a kid. I think I told the story about being in Cumberland, Kentucky, and we was using the bathroom. I was maybe 11 years old and didn't know that the bathrooms were segregated at the time. I didn't know. I'm 46, okay? So that wasn't that long ago. And I fast forward to 2020, and I listened to my own people say, oppression is not real. Racism is not real. Pain is not real. We experienced it too. We just didn't let it define us. We didn't let it stop us from doing what we needed to be. We didn't let it stop us from being the adults that we wanted to be. We didn't let it define who we are as adults. We didn't let it define who we are as kids. We all experienced it. I experienced it in school, where I was treated differently based on my race, or treated differently based on my religion or my race. But I didn't denounce it and didn't say that it wasn't real. I knew it was real. but I just didn't allow it to define me. So I would never step up and look at my own black brothers and sisters and say, that's not real. You making that up. That's just you making an excuse for your life. Because it's not an excuse. It is real. I go through the same thing every single day. I struggle and I fight every single day. I get up before most people get up. I read as much as I can read. I learn as much as I can learn. And I work 7 times harder than most people. Just to maintain the standing in life that I maintain. And I do these things because when we were younger, my mother always explained this to me that, and she sat me down, she said, Halima, you have 4 strikes against you, period. 1, you're obese. You're obese. And most people have a stigma with obese people. It's okay. So because of that, you have to take your health, your life, your finances, everything in your own hands and focus on being the best you can be and make sure you're self-sufficient. Make sure that you learn as much as you can about your body, about your health, about your economics, about, and set yourself up for success because people always will discount you because of that. The second one was you're black. People have their own preconceived notions about African Americans, their own preconceived notions about I guess stigmas or statements about black people, and they have them. I'm not going to waste any time explaining them because I don't want to give any clarity to them, and I don't want to give any light to them. I've heard them all my life. It doesn't define me because you have that stereotype about me. Does it not mean that I have that stereotype about me? So, with that said, that's the second one. The third one was that I'm a woman. I'm a female, which means I'm going to have to work twice as hard to achieve anything in this world. And that's because it is what it is. So it doesn't mean that it's good, it's bad. It doesn't mean it's right, it's wrong. It just means that it exists. And until the systems can be broken down and restructured so that it doesn't exist, you have to learn how to work around it. And then the fourth thing was social economic background. We grew up poor. We were very poor, extremely poor. My mother didn't believe in getting public assistance? She didn't believe in public assistance. So she worked 3 jobs. She worked 3 jobs to support us, and she put herself through school. She cleaned houses. She drove buses. She did whatever she can do to establish herself in order to increase her income and increase her employment status. And she worked 3 jobs, putting herself through school, raising 3 kids. And we had responsibilities. It was, people cracked me up. They're like, oh my gosh, she's 6 years old. She can't be cooking. I'm like, dude, I was managing a house at 6 years old. What? I was cooking and cleaning at 6 years old because we had to. We had to do our part in our family. We had to do our part to maintain our family. Was anything unsafe? No. Did I do anything that was dangerous for me? No. But bottom line is, my mother raised us from day one to be self-efficient, from day one to work our butts off so that we can achieve what we want to achieve in life in spite of oppression, in spite of racism, in spite of all those other things that are occur. I have dealt with it in my career. I have dealt with it I've been in my career since I was 18 years old. So from the beginning until now in my career, I have dealt with it. I still deal with it today. But does it mean that I'm going to say it doesn't exist? No, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. And I'm not going to say that I'm not a part of it because technically I am. I'm not asking for it. I'm not wishing it on myself, and I am not doing to myself. Or others are attempting to do to me. Yes. Is it occurring? Yes. But what saddens me the most is when I see another Black person say hurtful and harmful things to me and us. That saddens me. Because what you're listening to is the genre that someone's already fed you. They've already fed you that genre. And so you're listening to that. We all didn't get the knowledge of how to start our own businesses, the luxury of eating a certain way, because it's very costly to eat vegan, it's very costly to eat vegetarian, it's very costly to eat organic, it's very costly. And a single black woman working 3 jobs just to make ends meet and not barely making minimum wage. And who had to fight off oppression, sexual assault, abuse, just because they felt like they had the right to do it because she was a black woman. I know. I'm so saddened. And I'm mostly saddened when I hear my own race using these horrible racist terms and stating that they originated from us. They didn't originate from us. These terms did not originate from us. And again, I'm not going to say what they are because I'm not giving them any light. I don't need to give them light. We all know what they are. We know what those terms are. And so when I hear my own race using them and then saying they're originating from us, for us to put each other down, BS. It is BS. We're not putting each other down. It didn't originate from us. Trust me, it didn't. And if somebody's feeling hurt, like your black sister, your black brother, your African American sister, your African American brother, your American sister, your American brother are feeling hurt because a term was used towards them, find out where the source of the term came from. Find out what it is. How are you hurting them? Are you speaking down towards them? I have heard my own people say, oh, I'm not like you. I'm not like us. No, I'm more like this Caucasian person. I'm more like this white person. I'm more like this Asian person. I'm more like them. I'm not like you. I don't behave the way you behave. You don't know how I behave. You just see my skin color because you were raised to believe that certain skin colors behave a certain way. That you were raised to believe that. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're repeating back rhetoric that you've heard through the systems, whether it was a penal system, through educational system, or just social experiences, period. We're repeating back that rhetoric. And you're taking that rhetoric as if it's your knowledge, and it's really not your knowledge. And you're using it to tear down your own race. Stop. Just stop. Stop it. Stop tearing down your own race. Stop saying it's okay for black men to be murdered because you think he has a warrant. You know, if he does or if he doesn't, I don't know. I really, but if he doesn't, come on now, lay off. Just stop. I am so tired of spreading the pain and the hurt and the anguish. We're all human. What did this one lady send me this message? I stated that I thought that Trump was racist because I do. And that's just sorry, my wife is calling right now. That's my statement. I own it. I believe it. And I'm not going to not believe it. This man has had 30 years to prove who he is. And for 30 years, he's proved who he is. And I believe him. I believe he's exactly who he has proven himself to be. So, with that said, the counter argument back to me was, y'all, first of all, before you even finish your sentence, who was y'all? Why is there a y'all? What are we y'alling about? Because I live here too. I pay taxes here too. I am a viable citizen here too as well, who does a lot for my community, not a community based on race, but my community based on overall human beings who do a lot for both. How dare you say y'all to me? As if there is a you and there is a me, but there's no we, and we're not united, and we don't have the same needs and wants. Are you crazy? I've had enough. I'm tired. There's not a y'all. And my own people, stop tearing us down. Stop hurting us. Stop. If you don't like how somebody is behaving, educate them. Maybe they didn't have anybody to lead them. If you don't like what somebody is saying, take a moment, educate them. Maybe they had no one to correct them. Just a thought. Everybody didn't have the luxury of having that parent who had that knowledge. Everybody didn't have that luxury. Everybody didn't have the luxury of having somebody who had time to invest in them. I don't blame anybody for their situation because I believe that every situation leads somebody to be a better whoever they want to be. I believe our past develops our future. And if we don't allow our past to pigeonhole us into a certain situation and we can grow from it, you would be surprised how fundamentally amazing we can turn out to be. Because we can be the best who we can be for ourselves, regardless of the society, regardless of what the society is doing to us, taking from us, or attempting to take. You have no idea how many times, because the value of my word is so strong and my trust is so strong and the value of my morality, you have no idea how many times that saved me from somebody else trying to cause harm to me just because they didn't like the color of my skin. You have no clue. How many times I have had to stand up and argue for what I know that I have earned myself, that I earned. You didn't give to me, I earned it. Or how many times I've had to sit back and be quiet and allow somebody to do the wrong thing to me because the overall big picture was going to end up in a right for me. You have no idea. And that is what I do every single day. And to have my own brothers and sisters stand up and not even see or recognize anything that we go through and what our loved ones and our family and our ancestors went through for us. No, we're not the same. We're not supposed to be the same. They fought for us not to be the same. They fought for us not to be oppressed. They fought for us to stand up for ourselves. They fought for us to ask for what we wanted. So how dare you say, oh, I'm not like them. How do you think you got what you got? You didn't get it for free. It was fought. It was demanded. People had to be passive and negotiate and had to move things around in their favor in order for you to get half of what you got. Come on. And to not have any value, no worth in anything? Come on. It's too much. It's just too much. And I'm sorry, this election is bringing out it was actually prior to the election. It's been happening for years. But it's bringing out so much ugly in people. It's showing their true colors. And the sad part about it is, even when the true nature is being shown, people don't want to believe it. Because they would rather believe the image in their head of that person they think they want to have versus what that person showed who they are. They'd much rather believe that. I'm going to do what's right. I always do what's right. And I'm going to continue to do what's right. And I'm going to speak against people who's doing wrong and who's hurting. I'm going to do what's right. Bottom line. And how dare you not respect our ancestors and not just respect the previous generation before that, and generation before that. You are where you are because they allowed you to be there, because they fought for you. They fought for you. Whether it was passive, whether it was in your face, aggressive, regardless of the fact that they fought for you. How dare you? And don't get me started on Ice Cube, because y'all need to stop with that crap. Y'all don't realize that man is just solidifying his own money right now. He wants to make sure his millions stay in place. He ain't doing nothing for no black community. Y'all need to stop playing with that. Stop it. That man made it very clear in his statement. He said black people have been through so much that can go through a lot. So in other words, he knows it's causing harm to black people. He knows it. He knows it. But since he knows that we can overcome so much, because we've overcome so much before, it's all right to cause a little bit more harm. He is methodical, and he is playing out his own future, and he's not giving a crap about anybody else's future. It is equivalent of the kings and the other African Americans who sold their people into slavery because they thought they were going to gain something from it. Didn't realize what it was going to cost them. Didn't realize the years that was going to take from them.